welcome to the Thirsty Thursday call. This is the first time that you're on our call. It's a call we've been doing now for about 5 years, and it's a call that we do for the Montague community. Happy to have you on board tonight. Listen, if you're a guest, this is all new to you. Just sit back, relax. We have a great panelist of speakers tonight that will, I'm sure, just get you at your heart's core. One thing about this call, we don't really get into a whole lot sometimes of maybe our products or even our compensation plan, but this call is more about like how to do the business, the heart of the business, the heart of the people in the business. So I hope in the next hour you get something from this call. If you want to stay connected with us, get connected with us on our Facebook group and so on and so forth. All you got to do is take out your cell phone and text Thursday to 50500. For those of you that are international callers, that probably won't work for you. I think it only works in the U.S. and maybe Canada. So all you're going to do is text Thursday to the number 50500. And speaking of international callers, if you are international and you've been dialing in and you want to save some money, you can use Skype to Skype into our call. That's right, just use Skype. All you got to do is visit thirstythursdaycall.com. Visit any one of the blog posts or any one of the pages except for the home page, and you will see a menu on the right side of the screen. It'll be about halfway down, and it'll have two Montague phones on it with a little Skype symbol on it. The first phone, it'll say Thirsty Thursday next to it. If you just click on that phone and your Skype is already turned on, it will dial directly into the call free. It'll be a Skype-to-Skype free call. For those of you that use Skype, you will then need to use the Skype dial pad to dial in 136326. All the information is right there on the site, 136326, and there you go. And then if you want to get a hold of me, you can click on the phone underneath it, Wayne Eulery. If you ever have any questions about anything, I can help you out. I would be more than happy to do so. Just don't call me during the call. Okay? So, listen, we have some great speakers on. Our first speakers tonight are new gold executives from Canada. So we're looking forward to hearing from them, followed by a new bronze executive, followed by Lance and Tracey Smith, blue diamond executives. So we have a power-packed call tonight. It's always nice to hear from brand new ranks, people that are just hitting ranks and hitting new levels in the business. They're fired up, and I know you're going to be blessed by this call tonight. So let's go ahead and let's see here. Let's get started with our first speakers. Okay, so hey guys, I'm excited to bring on our first callers of the night, Larry and Jennifer Aulenbach from Canada, and they just went gold executive last week. How exciting is that? They're going to be getting an all-expense-paid trip to our conference coming up in August. They're going to be getting the airfare paid for, the hotel. They're going to be able to bring a guest. I mean, this is some exciting stuff. And I can remember, 5 years ago when I first went gold executive, and I didn't even know what it all meant back then. We were just having fun and sharing with people. And then, my wife says to me, "Oh my gosh, we just made over $1,000 this week." And I mean, this is life-changing stuff. Where can you work part-time? I mean, very part-time, because you're going to hear Larry has a very busy schedule. You're going to hear that doing this part-time, he's managed to hit a level that pays on average an extra $1,000 a week. So that's exciting, very exciting. So listen, without any further ado, I want to bring Larry and Jennifer on the call. Larry, Jennifer, are you guys there?
Yeah, sure are.
Awesome. You sound great. So listen, I want to... What's that?
We're fired up.
Awesome. So am I. Listen, I wanted to find out, I always like to hear, how did you find Montague, or how did Montague find you? What was going on in your life when Montague first came into it?
How much time have we got, Wayne?
Well, just give me like the short version of what was going on when Montague came to you.
All right, I'll try to cut it down as brief as I can, and I'm sure Jen will help me do that. But you know what? It was a real crazy time in our life, actually, at that particular point in time. I was kind of between jobs. I'm a power engineer by trade, and I was between one and the other, so I was driving truck, and I was working about 20 hours a day, and it was really, really crazy. And then all of a sudden, like here in northern Alberta, everything is frozen solid from about mid-October to, well, actually this week. Yeah. We can still get snow today. And in the spring, everything thaws out. So when things thaw, everything slows down. So we came to a grinding halt. My hours got cut to almost nothing, and we were kind of desperate, I'll be honest with you. And we were praying for an opportunity, something in a big way. And we're so fortunate. Our good friend Jeff and Chelsea Zazula, who just live around the corner from us, we know them from church, and they kind of knew that we were looking. And Jeff's daddy got involved in the business about a year prior to that. And he wanted Jeff to do it. Jeff didn't want to do it, but he finally saw the light and decided to do something about it and help some friends out. And he knew we were looking, so I was all on it. And Jen was like, no way. We're not doing this. She was not game for it at all. But you got to understand, Jen is a bank manager, so she's kind of trained to look for scams and things like that. And she pretty much thought that's what this was all about. And our friend Jeff is kind of a lunatic, and we love him a bit, but he's crazy. And she thought, no, there's no way. This can't be real. I said, honey, I love you. I don't care, but I'm doing it. We need something for our family, and I'm doing it. End of story. I would rather you do it with me, but if you don't want to, that's okay too. So anyway, wow. I signed up that night. That was our first after midnight experience there with Jeff. We got started, and it was kind of funny because we were actually over at a friend's place when we both got invited to dinner at the same thing, and it was kind of an impromptu thing how it all came together. But our friend that was there, he was my first sign-up, and he signed up 10 minutes after I did. So about 1 o'clock in the morning, we were both in, and that was it. The next day, we got someone else started, so we were Star 1000, I think, on day 2 or day 3. And within 3 weeks, we were bronze, and the whole thing just went like gangbusters. We had really, really good success right off the hop. And then I got hired on to another place as a power engineer again, and then my hours went even stupider. I was in camp, gone for 2 weeks at a stretch, so that really made it really challenging, and that really slowed us down.
Especially where I wasn't engaged in the business, so when he was home, the business would grow, but when he wasn't home, I wasn't doing the business.
Yeah.
So that's what had an impact. So, but he was given an opportunity to come on to another company that provided the ability to do that, right?
Yeah, it was amazing. But you got to understand, Jen runs a big bank downtown here. She's got over 30 employees. She's got all that to deal with and hundreds of millions of dollars on her mind all the time. So she's busy thinking about money, and I'm busy thinking about other ways to make more. And you know what? So when I came home, I just gave her.
She's busy thinking about other people's money, right?
Exactly.
Well, let me ask you, you said something key. You said, that when he was away, the business stopped because you weren't engaged.
No, I wasn't at all. I wasn't interested. I'll tell you a little bit about my husband. My dad used to refer to him as the dreamer. And but I love that piece of him. He was always so willing to dream about big things, and I was always the realistic one. So, but when we were presented with this opportunity, he literally sat at the edge of the seat and was almost like he was ready to jump all over Jeff and say, where do I sign? Versus I was not interested. I had really bad tendonitis in my arm. It was killing me. I had a massive headache. I just didn't want to have anything to do with this. We were just in a really bad place, both financially and really emotionally too, on a spiritual level, just feeling very disconnected. So when this opportunity came along, Larry really went gangbusters on it. It was all his doing. I would drink the product. I would support him. I would help him with the setup, and that kind of thing. But I just, he would try to get us to listen to the CDs it just wasn't my thing. So, okay. But then what ended up happening, I started losing weight. Weight was coming off. My tendonitis went away. And then we happened to go, Larry went to one of the first conferences, which is the one in Anaheim. And he came back, and it was just like he was a changed man. It was very empowering to see that. So.
Wow. So Did you make a change? Are you now actively participating in the business? Are you listening to CDs? Are you talking to people? Are you sharing the business? What's going on?
Yeah, no, for sure. So what ends up happening is I remember him coming home with this T-shirt and saying, "Leaders are born at these events," right? So, and I thought, whatever, right? Like, it's just whatever. So anyway, so we went, we planned this trip. I've been wanting to go down south to take our kids somewhere warm for the summer and for the winter because it gets really cold here. So we took off to Orlando, time of the conference. We bought our tickets. We went. My parents came down. It was awesome. They watched the kids for us. And we got to go to the conference. That first day was the game changer for me. It literally, I couldn't even sleep when we got back from the first night of the conference. It was just like you felt so energized and felt invigorated. It felt, life was put back into us, and you could start dreaming again, start thinking, and that's when it clicked for me. So that's what really happened for me. So I realized I had to start making some changes. Like, instead of being the victim, do something about it. And if I wanted to change, if I wanted things to change, then I had to be willing to make that change myself. So started reading. We signed up for the Life Learning Program, started listening to the CDs. I listened to while I'm getting ready for work. The first thing that's on at 6 o'clock in the morning. My son wakes up and goes, "Who are you listening to today, Mom? Len Smith?" So It's pretty awesome to see the changes. Our kids are noticing big difference in us. Our son's away serving a mission, and he's really excited, and he can't believe the differences that we've already seen in our family. So it's not just about building a business. It's literally, it is you are changing and becoming better people, so which is awesome.
Wow, that is cool. I like that. Because so many. When we're first sharing the opportunity, whether it's the products or the business, that's one thing that I think is kind of hard to share at first. That's something that takes time for a person to see, right? I mean, you gotta get in and get around some of the people and spend a little time in the community to really see how it can affect you in your family, with your spouse, with your friends. And I think that's so cool that you shared that, because I've seen that myself. We've seen that in our family in the past 5 years as well.
Yeah, but even a lot of the things that we learn, like I remember coming back from Orlando and one of my staff members goes, what happened to you? Like, who are you? I love it. You're so, you're fired up, you're energized, very positive, energetic, and it's just vibrating in everything, not just like our business, our personal lives, our business that we're currently doing, like our friends, it's awesome. I want this for everyone. Yeah.
If you really get into the whole Montague experience, it's very empowering, and this is what I think has enabled us to really grow our business in a big way, is by sharing that with people first. Through them seeing us and seeing the change in us. I mean, you got to understand, Wayne, Jen and I have gone through quite a metamorphosis over this last year. We've been in a very, very challenging place here, not only financially. Here in Fort McMurray, we make a lot of money on compared to what a lot of people in Canada make, and in the U.S. as well, too. They pay us very, very well, but it's incredibly expensive to live here. So we had a real challenge with that, but we've changed so much. We're not just in this for the money, but it's the empowerment that we've become. The better, I'm learning how to be a better father and a better husband and a better person, and really be in this for not for myself but for others. And this is what we've really learned over the last year, and this is what really set us off in the last 3 weeks here. We kind of came to a point where we said, you know what, either we got to really rock this thing, or we'll never change. We'll be stuck here in this rat race with everyone else. And we had enough people. We had quite a good sized tree, considering if we were able to grow it faster and get the numbers that we have now, we would be a much higher rank, I'm sure. But I mean, everything happens for a reason, and God's got a bigger plan for us than we realize. But I think this last year has been a real growth experience for us, and has enabled us to be able to share that with the people that are coming on board. And our good friends have seen it. Jen and I together, for example, have lost over 100 pounds on the Reveal in the last year. And
wow.
We kept it on. and it's still going down like every day. I actually kept the shirts that I bought because I got all decked out in wannabe garb when we got started, and the stuff just floats on me now, and I love just to put it on when we do our HBRs and people could see this was me. I filled this a year ago. And when people see that, they freak out, right? They know this stuff works because they know us. They see us every day. They see the change. Our friends, our very best friends we talked to a year ago just get started here a week and a half ago with us, and they've already gone bronze. You know, members of my family that laughed at us and said, "Oh, here you go again, one of them crazy sales things that you've always done all your life." Like I was always called a dreamer, right? My parents called me that. They said when I was 6 years old, they said, "You think like a millionaire." Well, we're not millionaires. You better come down to earth a little bit here, son. I said, "Well, what's wrong with being a millionaire?" Nice. They do nice things. They have a good life, you know.
Exactly.
And I come from a very, very big family. You know, my dad was a teacher. We had 8 kids growing up, and plus all the neighborhood kids that hung out with us. So, but one thing my parents taught me was how to share and how to open your doors to others, and we've always done that. Jen's family's the same way. I think this was something that really connected us very close over the last 22 years of marriage, and we've always been willing to give. And now that we're giving more of our time to our team, helping them to develop, to grow their trees and to help their friends get in, we found a much more rapid growth by doing this rather than doing all the work ourselves.
And that's been our big success, Wayne. That's why we went gold.
Well, yeah, and I wanted to ask about the GPS, the MVP system, the lifelong learning, and those sorts of tools. Did you find that any of those tools helped you in your success?
Absolutely. You know, we've got such an awesome upline. I'll be honest, I don't know if I should say this now, but kind of a secret between us, but this whole daily disciplines done daily thing that's in the GPS, we kind of been following something similar for a while here now, and it just really helps keep you on track every day. You know what? I mean, when you're having a bad day and you listen to a really positive CD or you read a good book, man, it just brings you up another level. You know, when you're able to look past the stuff that's right in front of you and see the big picture. And this is how these kind of things have helped us to grow a lot. And I'm very, very thankful for that. Our upline, you know, Jeff and Chelsea and Dewey and Tanya and Joe and Colleen Wack and Alan Sherry Huba and Steve Merritt. I mean, these guys are all over us to help us. I love it. It's so empowering.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, listen, for the new person who's starting today, and by the way, we didn't talk about it, but you work crazy shifts, right, of like 14, 16 hours or something like that? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on a shift, so my typical schedule is 3 days followed by 3 nights. It's about 18 to 20-hour day start to finish by the time you get up and get back to bed. So you really don't sleep more than 4 or 5 hours on any given night. So you're pretty much bagged out. I have a very labor-intensive job, and you know, we run a big plant that makes a whole bunch of steam that draws a whole lot of oil out of the sand, and that's the process here. That's how we get our oil. We extract it from the bitumen that's in the ground, and It's a huge, huge business, but it's very cutthroat, and it's very, very demanding on the body and on the mind. I mean, people here, they got all kinds of toys, they got nice things, they got nice houses, but man, oh man, do we ever work for it. And I'm just really tired of it, to be honest with you. I'm tired of always working and never being at home with my family and never being able to do something just because we want to and we decide we can. You know, and Montevi's giving that to us. And this is the freedom that I see, and that's what I saw a year ago to the day. Today's our 1-year anniversary in Montevi, and it's our golden anniversary. I know we're supposed to wait to 50 years for the golden one, but we're doing it today. So we're pretty excited about that. And we're so excited that our friends have decided to join us. Our friends Ron and Judy Hannon, they come on last week. They're bronze. Our friends Kevin and Michelle McNutt, they started a week after we did. The black tie qualified today. We're all going down together. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, that's exciting. Wow. So, awesome story. So glad that you guys came on the call to share tonight. I have one last question, and that's this. What would you say to the new person who is just joining us tonight? Maybe they're not even in the business. Maybe they're not involved with the products. Maybe they're not involved with the business. Who knows? But they're brand new. They're just listening to this for the first time. What would you say to them to encourage them to take the next step with Montevi?
It's literally run with it and use your GPS. Like, listen to the life learning. That was a big eye opener for me, Wayne. Like, those things really helped a lot. And to realize that this is for real, and this is something that's available. You don't need to be some brilliant or amazing salesperson. Just be yourself. Be excited. Share what this opportunity has done for you, both on a product-wise and also on physically and mentally. And I'll tell you, you'll have great success, and people want a part of that because life sometimes can get tough. And having this has allowed us to become like better people. And I'm so grateful that my husband saw that opportunity and didn't say no like I was ready to.
Yeah, and you know what, Wayne, we've had such amazing testimony on the product ourselves and our friends. By the way, if anybody's got any friends with arthritis, apparently this works wonders. We've got 4 people in our team that have osteoarthritis who get huge relief. Another good friend with very bad rheumatoid arthritis who takes a $1,000 needle every month to try to subdue the pain. And this Monavie Max does more for her than a $1,000 needle from her doctor. So that's life-changing stuff. My friend, she's like 18 again. You know, she's 38, but she's like a kid again. Her husband is so excited about it. And they're like, okay, we got to know what this is all about now. So we're looking for people who are looking for a change. We're looking for people who, and we're really listening. You know, when I go to work and I see all these guys, there's 10,000 people where I work, and they're all walking around all busted up because they work like dogs. They never stop. They don't sleep. They don't eat right. And we're scanning people all over the place. And when they see it in front of their face that they're red, they don't want to be red, right? They want to make a change. This is a simple thing. We've used the scanner. It's been very, very helpful. This has helped us a lot in the last month to grow our business. So it's a great tool, and it really puts the picture in front of people so they can see it for real.
We're fired up, Wayne, and we can't wait to keep going.
Oh yeah, awesome. You know. Well, Larry and Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on the call. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the next major convention that we're having here, and congratulations to you and your success.
Thank you so much,
Wayne. Thanks for this opportunity. We're really excited for it.
We really appreciate your call.
You got it. I'm so glad to have you. And, guys, if you want to read more about them, just visit ThirstyThursdayCall.com. Check out the blog post on them, and you can read more about their story and even connect with them through the Internet or however you wish. So thanks again, guys, and you guys rocked it. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Wayne. Fired up!
Awesome. I mean, 10,000 people at his job. That's endless opportunities just at his job. Wow. Awesome. Listen, right before I bring on Lisa Ziebarth, I want to let you know that the upcoming meetings in Indiana and Chicago with Mike and Sae Hernandez have been moved due to unforeseen challenges, and they'll be in, May 18th now. They'll be on May 18th. So if you had plans this weekend to visit Indiana or Chicago, that has been moved to May 18th. Also, you're going to want to check out Steve's Asian tour. Check out his fan page for more information on that. And he also wanted me to tell you, he's got 2 daughters. Steve Meredith has 2 daughters this summer getting married. If there isn't any more reason to have a business built like this, that sure is one of them. So listen, I have Lisa Ziebarth coming on next, new bronze executive in Monavie. I've been speaking with her upline, Jane Hogsman, this past week, and just added a video onto the ThirstyThursdayCall.com blog for her. So if you haven't had a chance to see that, Lisa, you're going to want to take a look at it. Lisa, are you on the call?
I am, Wayne. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Welcome to the call. And tell us, Lisa, real quick, just tell us a little bit about what was going on in your life when Monavie first came to you. What were you doing? What's your background a little bit? Tell us a little bit about you and what was going on when Monavie found you.
All right. Well, I've been in another networking marketing business for about 15 years, and that's where I knew Jane from. And we had lost touch with each other for quite a while. And so she had called me one day and said, "Hey, Lisa, I have a great business opportunity. I need your credit card. I need you to get in. I need you at the top of my tree. Let's make it happen." So as a trusting friend does, I gave her my credit card number and not really knowing what the business was all about. And then we met up here a few weeks after that, and I had been suffering from headaches severely, so she gave me a bottle of Monavie Active and said, here, try this. It's going to do wonders for you. You're going to love it. This is the business that we're getting into, and you want to be a part of that. And within 2 days, my headaches subsided. Now, I had been going to the chiropractor twice a week. I'd been going to massage therapy for twice a week, and I could not kick my headaches one bit, and they were from stress. I work, a 60-hour-a-week job, and that's probably on the low end of things, very stressful. I also have 5 children and 2 with special needs. And so I guess my nutrition wasn't the best. My stress level was really high, and as soon as I started taking the actives, I felt better. My headaches subsided, and I thought, my gosh, this is good stuff. Wow.
Well, you said a lot right there, and I just want to touch on a few things that were said. Did you hear that she said that she just gave her credit card over the phone? She didn't know even what she was getting into. And that's amazing, because I think some of us, especially those of us that are new, we want to understand everything that's in the bottle. We want to know everything about a comp plan. We want all the details so we can go tell somebody all these details. And here, a friend of yours just simply called and said, hey, give me your credit card. You're getting in this with me. And I think that's fantastic. And then 60-plus hours, 5 kids. Holy cow.
And a grandchild.
And a grandchild. Wow. And you still managed to pull it off and go bronze just this last week, right?
I did, just a week ago on Friday. And I was a consumer for the longest time, about 3 years. Just shared the product here and there a little bit, but not really getting out there and spending a lot of time on it. And I went down to the conference, the View conference in Orlando. Was so excited about the new View. It made a difference with me. I felt more comfortable talking to people, and got out there and started sharing. And it happened. It's happening quick. The momentum's building, and I'm so excited about that.
Was that your first major function?
I went to an event 2 years ago, right after we had gotten in, and was excited. A little overwhelmed at first. There's a lot of excitement going on, and came back and had another commitment that I needed to deal with for the year, and had a great time with that. But once that got done, I could concentrate a little bit more, on Monavie, and went down to the MVP and just was blown away. My mind was open to it this time, and it was wonderful. So we had a great time.
Interesting. So what I'm hearing here is timing. Timing got better for you this year after the Orlando event. And I also hear, you went bronze. I think we talked just before the call, and you mentioned scanning and signing someone up today. Is that right?
We did. It was wonderful. I met a friend, handed off some products she was low on, and a friend that was riding in the car with her. We had mentioned, and I had shared some product with her about a month ago, and just mentioned again to her, is it time to get in? Do you want to get in on the 60-day challenge? And she said, absolutely, sign me up. We scanned them, got a score for her, and I had her fill out the contract, and we're raring to go. So we did that in the parking lot as it was snowing, so it was kind of fun.
But you work 60 hours a week, and you said that's on the low end.
That's on the low end.
Right. So, I don't know. I get it every once in a while. No, I get it all the time. Oh, Wayne, I just don't have time. I hear this excuse all the time. And I love hearing your story right now, because this is an example of how you can't make that excuse. And I just met a lady who rented me a car because I had to put mine in the shop. She's working 50-plus hours a week at the rental place, just out of college 1 year. She can't seem to find something with her degree, had to take something, and I was just reading where 3 million college graduates a year, right? 2.7 million of them go back to live with mom and dad, and 30 years and under, 54% of them are unemployed.
Oh, boy.
So I'm talking to this lady. She meets me at a Panera later that night and brings her mom. Now, this all works together. Wait till you hear this. She brings her mom, who's dealing with headaches on a daily basis. So I am definitely going to make sure that I have Mom listen to this call tomorrow and hear what you just said about your headaches. Not that we can make any claims that Monavie cures, prevents, or treats anything, but it sure is nice to hear someone you know mention some relief, on that level. So tell me, with the scanner, how has it changed anything in your business? Has this tool been a unique tool for you? Has it opened up some new doorways for you?
Oh, it absolutely has. It's opened up some new doorways, but I'm also talking to people that I talked to a few years ago just to say, hey, we have this new scanner. I want to get you scanned. I want to try it out. I want to see how healthy you are and how you're feeling and get your idea on it. So that's been easy for me, and I've loved it. It's actually showing them, what their inner health is, and when they're out there telling me that they're, eating their fruits and vegetables and they're coming up and scanning orange, something's still not right there. So it's kind of nice to tell them that maybe we need to take a look at something else. So
I like it.
Yeah,
that's now, how has Monavie, we talk about having a more meaningful life with Monavie. Obviously, the relief with some headaches and some physical things came through, but are there any other ways that Monavie has, given you a more meaningful life?
Oh, my gosh, just the people I've met, getting back connected again with Jake and Jane Hogsman. They're absolutely wonderful. My biggest supporter, meeting Matt and Kim Curtis, they're absolutely wonderful and be there to answer any questions I have or help with anything that I need. So the sponsorship and the friends that I have inherited and met, they're just absolutely wonderful. And so that's enriched my life greatly. Just the overall wanting to be healthier and taking a look at what I put in my body and my children's body. With 2 special needs children, it's very difficult to sit down and encourage them to eat their fruits and vegetables or eat very much at all. And so with the RVL, it's been really good for us. In the morning, my autistic son gets up before he goes to middle school and asks for a shake, and I give him a shake. He pours the juice for both of us, and we have a shot of juice, and he goes off. In the afternoon, I know that they both make it when they get home from school. I have an 8-year-old that makes sure that if I'm not here, everybody gets their shake in the afternoon. And so just that nutritional, that idea that they're getting some good nutrition, I don't have to worry about that, has been really good, and they're starting to feel better as well. So just looking at what we put in our body, that we get out and we do a little bit of exercise, and that we're connecting on a different level than we have been able to in the past, it makes my life so much better.
Wow. I just can't help but to think again, and I know we already said this, but 60 hours a week, and that's the low end, and 5 kids. Now, I have 3 kids, and I know how much that keeps me busy. So I'm just thinking, wow. So tell us a little bit about your day then. I mean, if you're working, how are you getting this done? Are you making some calls in the lunch break, before work?
It's kind of amazing. Busy people seem to get things done. They don't sit idle. They know that every spare minute is an opportunity to get, to advance or to get a few things finished up and making life a little easier. So in the morning we get up and we do the shakes in the morning and get the kids off on the bus, and I head in, and it's usually a pretty full day right away. And then if I can sneak away for 15 or 20 minutes at lunch to make a phone call or two or to run an errand if I need to, and then in the evening again for just a short time. I don't, put hours upon hours a day into the Monavie. I would love to be able to do that, but it's just not possible for me. And so if I can sneak away at every opportunity and just make a phone call or a quick email and say, hey, how'd you like the shake mix I dropped off? Or if I'm at a networking event for work and I just kind of mention to somebody, hey, when they mention, hey, you look great, you've lost some weight, absolutely I have, and this is how I've done it. So I just take those, few minutes to try to just talk to people and get some literature out, and it's really worked well for me.
I love it. I mean, because I think so many people think that you have to put all this time, energy, and effort into Monavie, and if you just do enough of the right things enough of the time, it starts to work for you. Now, bronze is an extra $18,000 to $20,000 a year.
Woohoo! I'm loving that.
That's not too shabby. Just doing something real little part time on top of the 60+ hours that you're already doing.
That's right, but you know what's kind of funny is momentum is breeding momentum, and so I know that we're going to go silver by the end of the month just because I'm so fired up and talking to people on the way to bronze that haven't quite gotten in yet, and I know that they're going to be getting in now, and so silver is just within reach. And again, momentum breeds momentum, and I think we're just on our way, and we're gonna kick some butt here in the Midwest, and I'm looking forward to that.
I like that. Momentum breeds momentum. That is so true. And I'm sure we're going to see you up on the boards as hitting silver and gold, right? Not too long after that. You have a good shot for going gold by August, so you can go and get that. Guys, if you go gold before next convention, before August, I'm not sure what the date is. I have to look, but you get your all expense paid trip. I mentioned this with the Aulenbachs earlier. And they pay for the airfare. They pay for a guest to go. I mean, this is an awesome incentive. So I think you're on your way. I know you're on your way, Lisa.
Absolutely. My husband and I are looking forward to it, and that's one thing that I didn't mention is he's not actively building the business right now because obviously we're conquering and dividing, and he's kind of keeps the home front in the afternoon when the kids get off the bus and he's home from work. So he allows me to go out and do this wonderful business. It's an amazing thing, and but he's right there by my side, and he's come to conferences with us, and he's looking forward to doing that again in August. So.
See, and that's awesome. And the same is true for my wife and I. She handles the kids a lot of the time, so I can go out and do what I got to do. I'll be going up to Texas next week, so she'll be watching the kids and doing her part. And it is nice when the spouses are on board, which brings me back to another question. Was your husband on board from the start?
My husband's always been a very good supporter. If I say that I want to do something, he looks at me and smiles. And he allows me to do whatever comes up. And so I've been very lucky that way. And so he has been supportive. He has been drinking the product and feeling better as well, and he does share it. He makes sure the kids get it and whatnot. But he was supportive, and whatever Lisa wants, we're gonna do, and he's very happy about that. So I'm very lucky that way.
That's awesome. Well, one last question for you, and that is for the new person that's getting in, has a busy schedule, or maybe doesn't have a busy schedule, whatever, the new person getting in or looking at this business for the first time, what advice could you give to them?
My gosh, just try the product. And once the product works for you and you're feeling better, just share the results that you have with somebody. And when you're sincere about it and you have a great story to tell, they're going to want to be a part of that, and they're going to want to try it and keep moving. So just try it, share it, and it'll take off from there.
Awesome. And was I saying your name right, Ziebarth?
It is Ziebarth, yes. Lisa
okay,
Ziebarth.
fantastic.
I got it. From River Falls, Wisconsin. So if anybody's up in this neck of the woods, I'd be happy to meet with you.
River Falls, Wisconsin. There you go. And if you visit ThirstyThursdayCall.com and look at the blog post, you can connect with her on Facebook and check her out there in Wisconsin. Lisa, Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on the call.
Thanks, Wayne. Enjoy your night.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. 2 amazing stories of new pins broke in the business. Gold executives from Canada and a bronze executive from Wisconsin. This is an awesome call. Listen, we have Lance and Tracey Smith up next. Blue Diamonds from California. And they're going to be sharing with us tonight some training, I believe. They're going to or talk to us a little bit about what they're doing out there. Are you guys on the call?
We are, Wayne.
Hey, Wayne.
Lance, how you doing? Tracey, how you doing?
Doing great. How you doing?
Great. You guys sound great. So tell us, though, real quick, what was going on before you got into Montevideo? What was going on in your life before you got into Montevideo? I really don't know a whole lot of your story. So because I do this call, I get to meet all different executives and stuff, but I've not got to hear your story yet.
No, I appreciate that, Wayne. And hey, before I do, just a quick congratulations again to Lisa and Larry and Jennifer. I've been in the industry for 25 years, and I love hearing stories of people winning and achieving, and so congratulations. My hat's off to you, and we're excited about watching your guys' progress. But for Tracey and I, like I said, we've been in the industry for 25 years. I got in the industry when I was 21 years old. We weighed the options as far as what our options were out there, and we saw that this would perform better than just about anything else out there. And so we ran real hard for 2, 3, 4 years. We were able to knock it out of the park pretty early. We've been financially free for 23 years, and so when people said, when you were asked the question about what brought you to Montague, it wasn't really, we actually came to Montague. We sought Montague out. We actually built a business that was, that built a business for 20 years, and we were part of a company that had made some changes. And what we did is they made some changes that were pretty good for the company and for the owners, but they weren't really good for the field. And we were 40 years old. We'd made millions. We'd been free for a long time. And Tracey and I looked at each other at 40 years old and said, man, either we go ahead and promote something we don't believe in, or we go find some other company, or we go do this again. And we walked away from 95% of our business. We went out there for 6 months, which was our non-compete. And we really reviewed all the different companies that are out there. A lot of you that are on this call that are brand new, you got in because you have a neighbor, you have a friend, or somebody came over and showed you the plan. And the truth of the matter is, I'm a big advocate for our industry. There's thousands of companies out there, but there's really only a handful, maybe a dozen or so that are really good, and there's only a couple of them that are exceptional. And the fact that you got involved in Montague, you're blessed, because for us, we could have picked any of them. We had big offers financially to go to a lot of them, and we did the research, and we came over to Montague because it was the best one out there, and we believe that more today than at any other time. And since we've been involved the last 4.5 years, we love this company, we love where it's going, and we love its direction.
Wow, and that's awesome to hear. I mean, that's really good even for a new person that's getting ready to listen. I mean, 20-some years experience before you get into here, you actually you know what to look for. A new person new to the industry doesn't know what to look for. Like you said, they're just listening to their friend or their neighbor. That's got to be real encouraging for anybody new on the call. Thank you, Lance, for sharing that. So listen, Lance, tell us a little bit about our MVP system then and how it's working for you. I know that's one of the things I hear. I just listen to your CDs all the time, and you talk about that. Tell us a little bit about the system and your experience with it.
It's interesting because over my career, I've really focused on the system because I got involved in the industry. I was 21 years old. I was single. I was broke. I was unemployed. I lived at home with my parents. I had no credibility. And the only credibility I had was the CDs that I handed out, the message I took with me, the materials I gave out on the first night. I was a real big product of the system. I still am today. It's funny because you go ahead and, all of us that are on this call, we could go ahead and wake up one day and actually make a restaurant that makes better hamburgers than McDonald's. But what Ray Kroc did years ago is he put together a system where when you walk into McDonald's, good or bad, you know what you're going to get when you walk in the doors. And you know exactly where the sign's going to be, you know where the bathroom's going to be, you know what the Big Mac's going to taste like. They have a system down, and because they have a system, they move more hamburgers by accident than anybody else moves on purpose, even though there's other companies out there that make better hamburgers. And the system is critical for your success, because what happens for a lot of people that get in the industry, they don't realize this, is that you want to have tens of thousands of people. And one of the things that we've done is 23 years we've been financially free with this. And what I have is I'm a big promoter of the system. The system does most of the heavy lifting for me. I don't get phone calls 24 hours a day. I don't have to pick up the phone and call my people all the time. I get them plugged into a system, and the system does most of the work for me. It helps me with the follow-ups. It helps me get the people in the industry. It helps me take my team and grow them into leaders. It does a lot of that for me, and so the sooner that people grasp a hold of the system, I literally would watch my system counts long before I'd ever watch my volume counts from product, because I knew if I had system going into a team, and I knew that they were listening to CDs and they were reading the books, I knew that I had a team that was growing. If I had just product, I was concerned about it. And so for me, I've always been a big advocate of the system. I'm actually on the MVP board on the tool committee with Steve Merritt, and it's been an honor to be on there. We've come up with some great tools, and I think out of all of the companies out there, I think we've got one of the best tool suites out there. And just the more you can use those, the more you can leverage those tools, the farther you're going to go with the business. That's all there is to it.
Wow, that's great. So what do you see now that this, and I know the scanner is just another tool, but it's a unique tool, you have to admit. I don't know I've ever seen anything like it before. Tell us a little bit about how you're seeing that work through your business and throughout your organization.
I like the scanner because what the scanner does is it actually opens a lot of doors that we don't have open. I was out in Phoenix just recently with one of my groups, and one of my guys said, it's crazy, I'm not putting a lot of people in, but I'm getting a lot of preferred customers. And I asked him, and he said that almost in a negative way, and I said, look, I said, if you were contacting those people for the business, would you have gotten the door? He said, no, not in my lifetime I'd get in the door. I said, well, what this is doing is it's allowing you to get in the door. Let's go ahead and get them in. Let's show them the value of the product. Let's validate what it is we've got. And from there, you can, the biggest part of becoming a distributor, the biggest part of becoming a leader is you've got to have a foundational faith in the product that you've got. And by getting people on the product, we're going to have a lot of leaders that really had no intentions of ever building a Montague business, but because they got in the product, their score went up. I mean, I had a dentist over at my house the other day that just got involved. And the truth is, I mean, somebody walked in the door, and before he reached in their mouth, they slipped the view over his finger, and he scored red. And she said, this gal put her hand on this dentist's shoulder and said, I value you. You're a great dentist. My family values you. But we want you to live a long time. You've got to drink this product. And by the time a week and a half had gone by and we showed him the plan, he'd already gone ahead and gone from red to orange, and got real excited about it. And those are the type of opportunities that we wouldn't have otherwise. And so it's definitely a lead-in, but that's what it is it's a lead-in. It's not an end-all. A lot of people they think the end game is to go ahead and get a score and give them a color and then walk away, and that's just the beginning. That's the start of the process. What we do is we get that going, show them that there's a problem that they've got, and show them how this will fit. And Tracey's right here. You have anything you want to add to that, Tracey?
I just love the scanner because it validates our product. We've always gone out there and we've shared the juice and we've shared the RVL, and now we're going to be sharing the VSET. But when we can confirm that it works, not just, I think I feel better, but when we can actually show them the progress, that's what the scanner is going to do for us. So it's a great thing to be able to validate our product.
Wow. So, Tracey, do you and Lance build the business equally? I mean, do you both do the same sorts of activities?
Well, we've been doing this for
Lance.
years.
There you go.
Yeah. We've been doing this for a lot of years, and I've found that in some couples, like Lisa was talking about, there's usually one person that's more excited than the other person, one that's more involved than the other person. But we've been full-time in this. This is all that Tracey and I do for a living, and we've found that when we walk in the door, what I've found is that if I go in the door and I'm there by myself, is the husband or the wife makes 51% of decisions. If I walk in and I talk to the wrong one, I'm not going to get it in. And so to increase our odds, I mean, I'm one of those that we've shown lots of plans, but if I get dressed up, somebody's going to pay for it, And so I've always brought Tracey along. She's always been by my side because I don't want to guess wrong, talk to somebody who makes 49% of decisions in a couple, and think I go away thinking I showed a good meeting, and then only to get a text message back 2 days later that, hey, your stuff's on the porch. And so Tracey always goes with me.
Yeah, I do go with Lance, and what I found is that when Lance, he's usually the presenter of the plan that just works for us. I know there's a lot of great gals like Gina and Holly and Debbie and Cindy and all these gals, and including I can show the plan presentation. I've done it a lot. So when I have the opportunity to sit on the other side of the table as Lance presents the plan, I feel like I can build the relationship. I can see where maybe they hesitate a little bit. And it's funny because Lance and I work together as a team, and so after he's done with the presentation, I can address maybe where they kind of, flinched a little bit, and I can see that as Lance is presenting. A lot of times I'll say, hey, Lance, you have the 365 magazine, and it's in the car. I purposely leave things in the car. So after the presentation, Lance can go to the car, and I can talk with the people. And then as he comes back in and he gives them the magazine, I can casually bring up what I saw and, or observed during the presentation. And then Lance can address that where he was going through the presentation so quickly because we don't like to stay at the people's houses so long, because we want to come back. That I'm able to do that. Plus, you never know what you're going to walk into. You're going to walk into a house with kids. I keep videos in my purse. I keep the peanut butter bars in my purse. I keep those kind of things so that the kids want me to come back to. We really work as a team. And I think the more you go through it and then you analyze after you leave a presentation each time, what could have we changed here? That's what we talk about on the way home. How can we follow up? How can we send a card to make sure that they feel like they're valued? That's how Lance and I work this business.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. And you know what I think is so special about that is that there's not a whole lot that couples can do together these days. Usually one is the teacher and maybe the other one is over here in a whole other, different industry. And I'm so glad you took the time to share that because I think that's one thing that's been real special in Montague, even for my wife and I. Even though, a lot of what she does is take care of the kids and so on and so forth, but we're on board, we're on the same team, and we're able to share stories. I'm able to share with her. She's supportive and everything else. And I used to work for General Motors she used to work for Panera Bread. We had nothing in common to talk about those two jobs, and it's just been such a special thing to have something that the both of us could work on together.
Hey, Wayne,
I think that, yeah.
Something that's interesting goes along with that. The number one cause of divorce in America is lack of money. People fighting over finances, and that's something that we handle. But what the number two is that was kind of shocking to me is the relationship is stagnant and it's not going anywhere. And it's just exactly what you said. The husband goes one way, the wife goes the other way. They come back home, talk about people they don't care about. They turn on the 6 o'clock news and go to sleep around Letterman. And that right there is suicide to a marriage. And when you go ahead and get in an industry, sometimes it's tough when you go ahead and we jump in this thing. And I remember Tracey wrote out some goals, and I wrote out some goals. I looked at her and I said, those are stupid. Look at these. These are better, and that hurt. There were some growing pains that went along with it. But I'll tell you, there's nothing more powerful when you can actually get two people running together with dreams and goals and focus on their future. I know that Tracey, she's my secret weapon. A lot of times I'm out in front, but I'm kind of like the bulldog on the front of a Mack truck. I'm out there in front, but Tracey's really the engine that pushes this thing. She's the one that builds relationships, and I love the fact that we're able to work together for 25 years. Every day we go work together.
Right, I love it. You know what I picked up from when Tracey was sharing about you guys going to the houses is something I think I've heard Rex say, or I've heard it somewhere, just where whenever you leave someone, you want to leave them better than when you found them, or you want to leave them in such a way that they want to see you again. And when she talked about sharing the peanut butter bars and having videos so that the kids want them to come back, and then sending the cards, I think that is so important for people to hear, because that's in my opinion, one of the most important things with this business is establishing relationships and having someone want you to come back again. And I think that was key. That was so key. And I remember when we were working GM and Panera, I would work afternoon shift, 3 to 11. She would work mornings. So we would hand the baby off, and in 20 minutes I had to leave. And I didn't come home till after she was in bed. We would only see each other really on Sundays. And all that is us just cuddling up on the couch and watching some TV because we were so worn out from our crazy work week and a baby. So, it took some sacrifice though, right? I don't know what it was like for you all them years ago when you first got started, but when I got started, we had to make we had to make even more sacrifices. And I tell people, if you'll make the sacrifice now, and I like how you mentioned this in the beginning of the call, you said you ran real hard for like 3 or 4 years, and you really established yourself. Is that right?
Well, it's amazing, Wayne, because we ran for 7 years straight. By the time we took our first breath, we'd already made over $1 million. We'd been financially free for a while and really accomplished a lot of our financial dreams and goals. And 25 years later, I'm still getting paid for work I did 20-something years ago. But, wow. Interesting talking to you about you and your wife, because Trace and I were the same. We went ahead and got married, and we got in the industry, and we spent a couple of years where we would, coming home, and we didn't want to go to the plan. We just want to cuddle on the couch. But I'll tell you what got me, because people ask all the time. They said, what really got you in at 21 and made you go run so hard until you're 23 or 24 and got free? And it was the year 2037. And the year 2037 is important because it's the year that I'd get retired if I didn't do something different. And we beat that one by 42 years, 43 years by making that run. And some people look at it and go, Lance, I don't know if I'd want to work as hard as you did. And I'm like, man, I don't want to work as long as you're going to. Because the truth of the matter is there's a certain amount of work that needs to be done. I'd rather condense the thing, get it done, and go fishing than to spend it and spread it out over all of these years. Literally, we used to work all year long, and we'd get 2 weeks vacation. 4.5 years in our industry, we were both free. We'd open up a calendar. And for the last 23 years, we have 2 weeks every year we have to show up somewhere. We're going to show up in Salt Lake. We showed up in Orlando. We showed up at BBS's. There's only really 2 weeks we have to show up somewhere. The other 50 weeks we get to fill in. We've been able to do that for 22 years. We live a lifetime. Every year we live an absolute lifetime because we're able to put our calendar together. And I wish one of the biggest things as an advocate to the industry, I wish people I could just take my brain and our experiences. And I don't claim to be the expert, but 22 years of freedom, I'll tell you what, if you even got a glimpse of what it's been like, you'd go out there and you'd knock down trees, you'd chew through walls, whatever you needed to do to get this monetary thing done, because it's an amazing life that I just thank God every day when I wake up next to my wife that, as we don't go to work for another day, that we got involved in the industry and we made the run.
Wow. I love that. live a lifetime in 1 year. That really hit me right there. And it also brought me back some things. Back in I used to be a Kiyosaki mentor, and we used to teach, you should learn how to have a full-time life and not a full-time job. And that just resonated with me. Lance, thank you so much for sharing that, and Tracey as well. You guys really, really good information tonight. And just hearing I didn't realize that you had so much experience in the industry. And so, listen, everybody, I'm even more fired up now to go out tomorrow and do, like he said, tear down some trees, knock down some walls, to make sure that I ensure this freedom not only for myself but for my kids. And you guys have children?
We do. I've got 4 of them. The goal was to get home, and we were actually both at the time when we were both home with no kids. But I laugh about it. I said, when you're both home with no kids, kids come, and so we got 4 of them pretty quick. But none of them have ever known mom and dad to work. They've all been part of our business. They've watched us grow. They've watched the good times, the struggles. I mean, it always hasn't been easy, And I'll tell all you brand new folks, it's going to take some effort. And we've had groups quit, and we've had a lot of things happen. We've had upline quit. We've had a lot of tough things that have kind of happened. It hasn't been just easy, but it's just been worth it. Everything we've done has been worth it. I mean, I look and somebody asked me the other day, so what's the key? And I said, the key is to go out there and sharing this thing, sharing it with people. I got in the habit of showing this thing 50 to 20 times a month, and we've stayed with that for 25 years consecutively. I mean, I literally 7.5 years into it was the first time I actually dipped below 15 plans, and it was only because we were we had like 2 weeks of vacation at the company that we were with at the time sent us with. And it's funny because I was telling this, and they asked, they said, well, is it worth it? And I said, absolutely. I said, by the time we'd gone ahead and done 350 plans, we had our first Mercedes. By the time we did 400 plans, Tracey retired. I was able to retire at about 500 plans. We bought $1 million home at 1,000 plans. We became millionaires at 1,250 plans. By the time I did 2,000 plans, I had 4 boats. By the time I did 3,000 plans, I had a 42-foot Monaco coach. And we just crushed 5,000 plans in our career, and our career earnings are over $12 million. And I'll tell you, it's been worth every single step of the way to go out there and get this thing done. You guys have got the thing in your hand. A lot of people get busy, but make sure it's productive. Make sure you're getting out your door, showing that people sitting down at their kitchen table, sharing the dream across, looking at their score. Yes, get their score, but look across the table, look them in the eyes, and show them that the goal of the plan is to find the need and show them how one of you can fill it, either through health or either through wealth or both. And you do that, and it is just a numbers game after that. And I'm still doing 15 to 20 plans a month, not because I have to anymore, but because I love what I do. And there's nothing more exciting to me than when I go walk in the living room and I see somebody light up because they got a dream, and they suddenly, for maybe the first time in their life, they see a way out.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you, Lance, so much for coming on the call tonight. Thank you, Tracey. And what I heard at the end there is anything that you can measure, you can improve. And he had those plans calculated down to the month. And I'm sure with each plan, you got better and better at it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The first one I did was horrible. It was 10 minutes long. I was sweating. I had sweat coming off my forehead. I was nervous as could be. I had an old lady come up to me afterwards and she said, "This is okay. You'll be all right." And Tracey walked in the door. She was a few minutes late because she worked, and she said, "How'd it go?" I said, she walked in the door. She said, "Are you going to get started?" I said, "I'm done." And she said, "How was it?" I said, "It was horrible." I said, "But you know what, Tracey? That's the worst one I'm going to ever do. The next one's going to be better. The next one will be better." And I mean, thankfully, we're in a business that, God, they can't fire us. You know what I mean? They can't fire you. And so it's a learn as you go process. And all of you that are on this call, I mean, I know I'm listening to Larry and Jennifer and Lisa. I guarantee you they're better today than they were 2 months ago. And that holding true, 2 months from now, they're going to be better than they are today. I mean, it's just a process. You just got to get on the road. You just got to get hiking. You just got to keep the legs moving. You don't sit down. Don't take a break. Don't look sideways. Don't look left. Don't look right. You look forward at your goals and just keep moving along. And we're going to be having you guys on the call, and we'll be listening to your story one Thursday.
I love it. I love it. I have one last question. It's 11 o'clock. We'll wrap this up. 11 on the East Coast, at least. Let's say you just sponsor me. I'm new in your business. What would you tell me? What would you tell me other than, obviously the system and all of that? But what do you tell a brand new person about, what they really need to do in order to get their dream? If they got a big dream, they want to get free. And you pretty much told it, I think, a lot of it. But what is there any one thing, or is there anything special that you're telling people that, hey, this is what it's going to take?
No, it's a great question, Wayne, and I'll make this quick. But there's I asked a question years ago to a mentor of mine because I got into GPS, I got into tools, and there's this pattern, that pattern, and handing out these many CDs, and there's all these different things you hear. And I had somebody cut through the chase one time. If you're brand new, this is what you've got to do. And if you really want to have a career and be one of the top income earners in the industry, it's really three things. Number one is you got to go start this thing 15 to 20 plans a month. And it's got to be consistent. It's got to be ongoing. You can't dip below that. I averaged 20-something plans a month for most of my career if you were to level it out. Started off with one-on-ones. Now most of what I do is bigger HPRs or home tastings. But I'm always getting 15, 20, 25 plans in every single month. Number two, they told me to attend everything. Everything that's promoted to you, attend it. Create a culture from event to event. You got to have tickets to BBS. You got to be promoting the next BBS. And they told me to be the first one there and the last one to leave, and never leave an event without tickets to the next event. Create that culture. And then the third thing they say is you've got to grow. You've got to be reading and listening. You got lifelong learning is not an option, in my opinion. You can't. I mean, all of you that are on this call would love to have a business the size of Steve and Gina's, but you don't have the knowledge of a Steve and Gina. And until you do and until you grow, you're not going to be able to hold together that big of an organization. And so those three things, if you do those three things, you'll knock out of the park. Show the plan 15 times a month. Create a habit. I mean, it take a little while to get there, but and then start. If you've only done 2 plans a month, then get to 4 plans a month, then get to 8 plans. But find somewhere. If you got to rip the cable out of the TV wall to do it. But get to yourself to the point where you're showing this thing 15 times a month. You attend everything and you grow every day. And we're going to see you. We're going to see you in the next 365 magazine, or the one after that, or the one after that, and you'll come thank me on some beach somewhere in Hawaii. That, you know what, those three things, you're right, that's what did it. That's what put us over the finish line. And so, Wayne, thanks so much for having us on this call. We really appreciate you guys. It's an honor to be part of MVP. It's an honor to be in business with people like you, the Merritts, the Roushes, and I mean, just all of them. The Calvins, we're just really blessed to be part of this Montague family, and we just know that Montague's best days are ahead of us.
Awesome. There you have it, guys. Lance and Tracey Smith, Blue Diamonds from San Diego, California. Appreciate you guys for coming on the call.
Thanks, Wayne.
You got it. So what I'm going to do, like we do every week, is I'm going to go ahead and open up the lines so you can give a shout-out of where you are from and who you are. Wayne Eulery, Youngstown, Ohio.
Carl and Kathy Firestone.
Jane Mills, Ottawa, Ontario.
Rick McFeeters, Lansing,
Arizona.
Al Smith, Orlando, Florida.
Butch Hamilton, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Colleen King, New Hampshire.
Maurice Santos, Las Vegas.
Matt Jennison, Minneapolis, Indiana.
Krista Parker, Michigan. San Antonio. Jennifer Larry, Champaign, Illinois.